Hey everybody, welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Ivy Hartman, and joining me now are two very special guests. We've got the owner of Studio Altius, David Cerven, and Shawna Ventimiglia, who is the coordinator for the curator, and you manage the studio for David.
That's correct.
Awesome. So really, we know who knows the most here. No, someone about photography, someone about running it. No, I got him to say yes on TV, Shawna, so it must be true.
That's right.
David, talk about Studio Altius. You have started it 5 years ago, and you're in Maplewood.
Yeah.
Talk about some of your services.
We really have two sides of the business. One side is we're a photography studio. We do portrait and commercial photography. We focus on really institutional clients or sometimes stuff in the studio, things like product photography, stuff like that on the commercial side. Our portrait side, we really focus on families and kids and corporate headshots and you know, that sort of thing. And really love our new space that we've got a lot more going on there, a lot more opportunities there for shooting that we're excited about. And then the other half of what we do, we are a resource to photographers. So we do studio rental, we do workshops and classes, we do opportunities for art where we have competitions and contests and things like that. And we even have networking events where people come and hang out and you know, get to know other photographers, stuff like that. So.
All right, David mentioned, Shawna, the space itself. So let's talk about, do you have things on display, exhibits periodically, other than David's photography?
Yes, indeed. We actually, when I first came on with the studio, we were only having one exhibition in a year, and now we're up to 4. So that's really exciting. Right now, we don't have anything up because we're obviously waiting for Fresh to open this weekend, but we might have some downtime where there's not other people's artwork in the studio, but photography done by the studio is up in the studio very regularly. So
she mentioned Fresh. Now, we'll get back to that in a minute. That's an upcoming exhibit that's opening this week, and you won't want to miss it. In the space, before we move on, David, I want to talk about it. You guys, you were formerly on Sutton, but now you guys are on Big Bend in a much bigger space.
Yeah, we were down at the end of Sutton, at Sutton and Greenwood, right by the railroad tracks in Maplewood, and now we're on the other side of the tracks now. We're actually, it was great space for us. We were there for 4 years. It was the building was beautiful. Architect Patrick Jugo renovated it and did a great job with it. It was on the National Register of Historic Places, and we loved it there, but it was just too small, and it was didn't get a lot of traffic there. We've now moved to Big Bend. We've tripled our space. We've completely built it out to fit our needs exactly, and we have 40,000 cars driving by every day instead of 700, so it's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, and so you took that space on ideally, knowing that you could, not only can photographers rent it, you as a private person can host a party there. Now, you guys aren't caterers, but you can rent the space from David or from Studio Altius to use that, and it's located at 2301 South Big Bend. You can call them for more information, 769-9769, and the website with everything you need is studioaltius.com. All right, the name Studio Altius. You're a St. Louis guy. You went to WashU. You must have had dreams of opening your own place eventually, and then you had this name.
Well, I've always been a sports guy. I played basketball at WashU, having coached there for 6 years after I graduated, and also ran track there. So always really big sports. And Altius stands for, it's part of the Olympic motto, Citius Altius Fortius, and means faster, higher, stronger. So Altius actually means higher, and it always reminds me that I never want to settle. I always want to try for higher, better, greater things. And it's sort of an ideal that I've sort of stuck with even after leaving coaching and going full-time into photography and open up the studio. I thought, well, we'll keep that. It's kind of it's for me.
But you can tell it's more than just about David, because you guys are hosting classes in your space, but then also really mentoring and supporting the community and the youth in the Maplewood community. And we're going to talk about this Fresh 2011, which is a student photography exhibit that is coming up, and we're going to tell you all about it right after this. We don't want you to go anywhere. And if you want more information about other things that are happening around St. Louis, you can always friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. I don't know if you guys knew this, but we also have our own YouTube channel that you can subscribe to. Plus, where would we be without streaming all of our programming live through our own website at stltv.net? And we'll be back in a minute right after this.